Hi guys, John here again with another video. Today I'm talking to a chap known through his YouTube channel and social media as Rushofwaves. And I've been a sort of fan of his work for a little while, since we tried to sort an interview before Christmas for different reasons. It never happened, for I can't different reasons, what have you. And I heard a lot of Rush's um, views, points on life and stuff like that through his videos with Bob Dub, and I really wanted to meet this guy, and today I've actually met him. And we've had no real chance to get to know each other, so what you're going to see on the screen is us getting to know each other a bit and having a chat and just see where it goes. So if it's okay with you, Rush, I'll just let you tell people about yourself a bit, if that's okay.
Cool. Thanks, John. Yeah, I appreciate you having me here. It was kind of exciting to hear some of your videos as well with various chaps, and yeah, really cool to be here. I'm Rick. I'm Rush Waves on Minds and YouTube. I tend to try and take that name with me. I like it. It sort of fits me well. And yeah, what do I do? I just guess I think a lot, and sometimes people are like, "Hey, that was cool. I like what you said." So here I am. Mm.
So, uh, you're obviously obviously other people wouldn't know that, but I know obviously from the things you say, you're very enlightened, spiritual sort of person. From what I've heard, what you've saying, so you have to be. There's no way you'll be able to say the things you say without being that. So, did you have you always been that way, or did something happen one day in life and made you a bit more like awakened, or just how's it been with you?
Yeah, I suppose it's kind of been a lifelong thing. Like I guess it could have flipped the switch off at any moment. So I've had, I guess, a series of fortunate events that has led me here and enabled me to remain alive.
Yeah,
So I get to keep trying again. And but yeah, I mean, I guess there was like a few really pivotal, like motivating moments in my life that I think about quite often and reference, and it kind of, I guess, it grounds me and allows me to sometimes think straight. For certainly not all the times, but um, yeah, yeah. I've kind of sometimes it really annoys people, but I'm someone that like paints a silver lining, on
yeah,
something terrible. And but ultimately, I guess when I finally get through to someone, or you don't really even necessarily have to do anything. I think by just listening to someone
no,
and giving someone space, uh, it allows them to, someone's accepting them, and it allows them to accept themselves for a moment, and it could change everything for somebody just
yeah.
listening.
I found that when I started these videos, enlightened videos, I actually, you know Roger, don't you? Roger Anson, you know Roger? Yeah, I think you've
I
had some
met him
shows with him.
yesterday.
Yeah. Well, he actually interviewed me last October, I think it was, mostly about my gaming channel history and about my life story because I've led quite interesting life for different reasons. And it was like, oh, I thought, oh, something's changed here. And then I felt compelled to start interviewing people. And I suddenly was finding that it was really raising my vibration. It was like the communication of talking with other people. Some people I was actually healing when I was talking to them. I'm a healer as well. Some people healing me when I was talking to them. Some people were raising my vibration right through the roof. It was really crazy. Like a guy called Michael Paul, and it was just like, oh, there was just, it was just amazing experience. Amazing experience. And what I found was some people, a lot of people, there was a pattern. There was like an awakening with them. Something happened one day, and then bang! All of a sudden, they could do something like it happened to me. Suddenly, you just open like a door, and you can never shut it again. To the your spiritual side, and a few others. Then like my neighbour I've interviewed, they were born that way. They were part of a generation whose relatives, like grandfather and were like Romani, so they've sort of on the family is in the family, so they're very spiritual to people, and stuff like that. And she's always been the same way, and it's always interesting me then because I find the awakening stories, especially, it's just like a lady in America into Deborah. She was having Reiki performed on her, and so as soon as she had the Reiki performed on her, she could see her dead father. I was like, she never had anything like that happened in her life, and it just happened there and then. It just awakened her, and boom, that was it. And then she's never looked back. She's on Facebook. She's got a massive following on there, and it just. But getting back to the point you were saying about listening to people and communicating what you feel from listening to them. I have found that if I can touch one person's life by an interview, or I do solo podcasts as well, and someone says, "Oh man, I really need you to hear that today," I think, "Wow, that's it. That's what I'm here for." You know what I mean? I think it's important. If you're touching people's lives in a good way, I think, well, I think that's one of the reasons we're here for. If we can touch someone, do you see what I mean? Do you agree? Do you think that, or you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's my sort of philosophy on it. If you um, can help one person make them smile, because I'm a terrible person for cracking jokes at people, strangers, anyone in the street. I'm terrible like that. And if I'm seen walking away and they're chuckling, it makes my day. You know what I mean? I just think, well, that's just the way I am. Like, it's I think that's part of the parcel why we're here. And from what I've heard of your philosophy on things, it's really interesting. Like, it's like you're really on another level of some things. It's really like I was really impressed by it. Um, what I heard with Bob Dylan. I remember the first videos I saw were recordings of you and her talking about love and stuff like that, and I thought, oh my god, what a way this was interpreted. Where you put it, like, it's like, wow, what a way that was put. It was really cool. So
Nice.
sorry if I
That's really
waffled on too
cool.
long. I got a habit of doing that.
Yeah, that's cool. I was very intrigued with the well, we had a podcast yesterday, and we talked about duality.
Yeah,
And so when I was listening to some of your interviews, I kind of was intrigued and uh, watching how, like, the duality of, like, your healing, and, like, um, how far I guess I'm asking you, do you feel like your energy reaches out to somebody, or do you feel like maybe sometimes, or yeah, I guess both, someone's energy comes towards you and then you notice
yeah,
it and you connect with that, um, because you're saying you do, like, maybe you've uh, felt that you've done long distance healing
yeah,
before,
yeah,
and so I guess you would feel that connection.
yeah. I've helped you could speak to Bob off camera, but you can ask her about it. I've helped her in from remote healing with Bob. Literally, we're talking about something, and I said I'll try to help now, and I hadn't done it for like about 2 years, and it was literally within seconds. She said, "Wow," she said, "I can sense your presence here now." She said, and it was just like, "Wow," And so yeah, it's healing. Yeah, when I heal, say I was healing you, in our sake of argument, it's my energy mixes with your energy, and it gives you like a boost. Everyone's got the healing ability in them. Everyone has. But what I've got is like a booster pack, so to speak. I go along boost people, like someone with a car battery. Yeah, give me a little boost. Oh, I can start now and get going. That's what I do. It's like that. That's the way I can put it. The way I put it. Like, it's like that's really what it's about with me. But to be a healer, you have to self heal as well. You have to massively self heal. You can't hold on to
Mm-hmm.
traumas. You can't hold on to guilt. You can't hold on to nothing. You've gotta deal with it all. And it's taught me one of the last things I was holding on to dear life about is because I'm a musician as well, and through various points in my life, I've been in situations where I really felt I could have made it as a musician, and things have always fallen apart, and it's made a real big, like, hurt in there. And it's like now I'm thinking, no, now I got to start dealing with it. I haven't played. I got all the instruments here, guitars, and I haven't played for like I think 12 years. Picked up the guitar this week, so I'm starting to sort of deal with it again. Guitar's in the right state, but it's part of the self healing process. It's got to be done.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't. Do you heal or anything like that, or yourself?
Well, yes.
You
So I
do.
guess
All right, that's good.
I'm like probably the opposite of a battery pack because I don't got much energy to give,
Right, yeah.
but I've been given a lot of lessons in life and things that I have to live with that enable me to solve more intricate problems with people. And so um, I think I sort of like sense that problem. So it's their energy reaching out to me,
Yeah.
and then I'll sort of like ground that out for them, and they can be clear for a moment
Oh,
and
that's
use
good
their own
stuff.
energy under their own power.
Right, that's cool.
Um,
It's really cool.
yeah,
That's a good
yeah,
way
it's
to
really
live.
neat. I was looking so forward to exploring this with you today because I felt your authenticity and your very
Yeah,
genuine
thank you.
vibrations. I guess I could say is very.
I've had
Uh,
all sorts of stuff going on with us last year. Healing is what I've done mainly. I started off when I was in my 20s. I had a dog who had cataracts. Something went in my head, so I just put my hands over his eye. Didn't think anything of it, walked away. And the next day, what's wrong with my vision? I'm having trouble seeing properly with my eyes. There was something wrong with me. And it was like for about 2 days, it was like that. What the hell's going on? I looked at my dog. His cataracts were gone. And it freaked me out so much. I thought, oh my God, did I do that? And I didn't do it again for like 20 years before I was able to heal again. And then I started doing it from then on. It freaked me out so much that I did it because it just came from nowhere. I didn't know I could even do it. I had no clue. My mother
yeah,
was quite spiritual. She was a fortune teller and stuff, but I had no like inkling anything like that was in the family healing, anything like that. I don't. Maybe it wasn't in the family. I don't know, but that's where it started with me. And then we took my son to a healer, a local healer, who's become sort of my mentor. He was about 3, 4 months old, and he had very bad reflux from his milk, so he wasn't keeping his milk down. Took him to a healer. Within half an hour, he was smiling at the healer. He didn't have that reflux again until last year. He literally went 8 years without no reflux. And when the healer was with her, he says, "Who's the healer in the room?" He said, and I knew it was me, and I didn't say a word. And he said, looked at me straight. He said, "You could do this, can you?" And I said, "Well, maybe." I said, "I don't know." And again, I did nothing of it. And then my partner came home from work one day, temperature of 39, and she had a throat was clearly closing up. Something told me to hug her. My arms around her, hugged her. Within 10 minutes, the temperature was down to 37 and her throat was healed. And that's how it started. Started from there. It's gone from there. I helped people with
nice.
COVID, people bedridden, and had one guy in Canada, didn't even know who he was, didn't even see a photo of him. I was asked to help him. In Canada, was bedridden. They were really worried he was going to slip away. And I tried to help him, and the next day he was up out of bed and horrible hospital the next day. So, you know, uh, because I've been blessed to have this ability. I know it's coming through me. It's not me. It's coming through me from nature, from the spirit realm, wherever you believe where it comes from. I know that I'm not conceited enough to believe it's from me, but it's just it's linked to me because it comes through me. That's why I say it's from me, in a sense, because I believe
Yeah,
that as I've gone on my path, I've gone closer to nature. I realise that nature is so important that I never realised when I started my journey. If you know what I mean, I didn't know it at the start, but now I know it, and it's like a few times I've had like things happen when I've saw like elementals, and I've seen patterns in things, and I felt really close to like nature's essence, and a few times, really a few times it's happened, and it's like, wow, it's just like it just opens up your mind, you know. You just think, what the hell, you know. Um, it just makes you a bit crazy, like what's going on, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
sorry, I'm talking too much. I'm sorry. I should leave you to speak. I
it's
shouldn't
good.
be. Um, so, do you believe in spirit realm? Do you believe in God? What is your sort of belief about where all this comes from? Then this enlightenment, healing. Where
um,
do you think it comes from? What's your view on it?
Boy, yeah, so many different things. I guess is a combination of forces in effect here. And one thing that hold on one second. Hey, no, no, no. One thing that came to my mind early on was the blood and how uh, this family, um, like feeling of connection with our family or past lives, or sometimes I guess in one aspect it would be through the blood, because the blood is this alive thing, so it holds
Yeah,
consciousness. And when you're born, your mother is, and you're creating your blood, but you're sharing blood with your mother.
right.
And um, so there would be this passage of this life force, right?
Yeah,
So in some people's life, if they wake up to that, what that is, and then they start to sense this energy that's been passed to them through the blood, that
yeah,
would be one experience. And I mean, healing, I think, is always an opportunity for us. It's something where when you're ready, you let go of the thing that's keeping you from aligning.
yeah,
It's not necessarily something you have to fix a lot of times. It's something that you just have to subtract from the equation
yeah,
and let go of it. And I mean, we do have some things that we're up against with our environment, and certainly a long life of your body's environment, and things that you may acquire. So there's environment, but subtracting those bad things first, then we can become clear on how to fix our environment and our bodies, which needs to also be done. But uh, yeah, I tend to. I commented yesterday on a Facebook post, and it was early in the morning, and I wake up in a lot of pain, so sometimes I'm a little spicy in the morning. And it was a chiropractor's post, and it was a quote, saying how some practitioners are all about environment, and while the chiropractor is about making your body strong. And I just like it's such uh, a faux pas. I don't know what the word is. Uh, the body is an environment. So I was like, this is not really an incomplete statement. And so I told him that although it's great what he does, he helps people, especially older people and animals and stuff, to have stronger bodies so that they can put up with the bad environment.
mm-hmm.
Cool. But
Yeah. I
I
get it.
was like, our first focus, if all the energy is coming from the environment, wouldn't wouldn't we want to make it the foundation, the environment, the foundation of our good deed?
Yeah.
And then we can focus on healing and rebuilding, or you know,
Mm.
refining, any, inserting a little bit more intelligence into something. But you can't really expect to be making investments into a product of a broken environment.
Yeah.
Surely there's a chain reaction at some point, and ignition takes place, and you lose everything.
Yeah.
So
Makes a lot of sense.
making a connection is sometimes very delicate. I don't know. It's something that I don't do a lot, because it's a dangerous thing to help somebody,
Yeah.
um, and it could hurt them more and just create longer for them to recover. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling now, on and on. It
No,
seems
no,
like we both like to do that.
that makes sense. No, it does make sense. When I was first properly got into my healing after I helped my partner, I was trying to heal everyone. I was trying to heal the whole world if I could. I was trying to do it everywhere. And I got to a stage where I was almost felt this COVID had just started off, and I thought almost felt like I was invincible, even I wasn't. I just almost felt that way because it feeding my ego, as you can imagine. If you've gone from healing nobody to suddenly being able to healing loads of people, and um, and then I got COVID. Brought me right back down to earth, didn't it? It's about 2 weeks I had it. Always on the point of really getting bad, but I never did. You know, I had high temper. I was luckily, you know, and for a long time, I was really angry about it. I thought, here I am trying to like do your work to help people, and I didn't heal no one. I did nothing, and then I put in this position, and then suddenly one day it was like someone coming along and just knocked me on the head, said, and I realised just basically showed it was because of my ego. I needed to get balance. I lost my balance, you know, and because
Mm.
after I had COVID, I gained my balance back. I took things slower. So now, if I heal people, it's either subconsciously and I don't even know I'm doing it, or I ask to be shown and I need to help someone. I don't do willy nilly now. Even if I see people really need help, if I don't get drawn to help them, I don't help them now. I know it might sound ruthless to people who who are not healers and they think, oh, why don't you do it? Because, well, as you say, you're mixing your energy with them as well. And if I'm mixing my energy with a toxic person, then part of their energy is going to come onto me, and I don't want that, you know. So it's a bit of that as well. But like, you know, it's so that's my view on it. Anyway, it's just, you know, I just go where I'm guided now. Roger
Yeah.
seems to think I'm a bit like nutty sometimes because I seem to tell him about everything. I used to say I go where I feel guided to do it. If I feel guided to do an interview, I'll do it. If I feel guided to do podcasts, I will do it. I go where I feel guided, and I think sometimes he thinks I'm a bit like out there, but I don't really care. I think the world of Roger, whatever. But I just because we see things differently. Like Roger's more down to earth and more knowledgeable than I'll ever be because he like knows all about the older stuff and stuff like that. And I'm like, he asked me, and I said, I don't know, I haven't got a clue. You know, I am what I am. You know, I don't know, but it's the past is the past. It's if I need to know anything about the past, I'll get told it, and that's what it's like for me. Like um, found out about some of my past lives recently because different reasons. I just found out about him, and I said, "Oh, okay, this makes no difference to me anymore. I'm still the same person now, but sort of when I say past lives, I mean my view is that we got a higher self up there, and it's like past and the future are all one, even though it's not. They're all happening at the same time, and it's like the higher self is putting a bit of himself into the year 2000, bit of himself in the 1900s, bit of himself in 2000 to develop, and then eventually they rise up and they become their own person, so to speak. And it's like that's what I feel when I say past lives. As part of my higher self was in a past life, not me, because I'm the same this one person now, but my higher self would be a person in the past, in the future, whatever you like that. And that's what I because I feel I've seen my higher self, so I know I feel that you know what I mean by that. If that makes sense to you, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. This father time aspect of the universe where everything is one and connected,
yeah,
and then this feminine part of ourselves that we become separate and we're our own self for a little while,
yeah,
and it's so strange being, like having that sense about you that you're a part of all things, and you like think you feel like you know something, but
mm,
then all of a sudden you're standing here in this body and you're just you know nothing.
yeah,
And
uh,
it's so funny between those two worlds, if you just kind of accept both things, that maybe you do know something and you absolutely know nothing, is where kind of like your where you can reach people from, or even reach yourself, or where you
yeah,
should, you should be reaching yourself. But yeah, yeah, this interesting that you have a sense of that, where through time. I'm
Yeah.
definitely, I feel so alone, like I'm just my body, and I have almost no connection with this thing. I have to really, well, I have to practice quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I do have some bit of connection, but I practice a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm just stuck here in my body.
Yeah. Well, everyone's different. It's like
Mm,
everyone's got their own path. There's no two people are going to be the same. Everyone, and some people find their path through religion. Some people find it out of religion. It's up to them. It doesn't make him right. Doesn't make him wrong. Everyone's who they are. That's I've accepted that, but I wish some people are just like, oh, you've got to be in this faith. You've got to be in the. No, I don't. I don't have to be at all. You know what I mean? I don't have to be at all. I am who I am. I was in a religion before, which
mhm,
led to me being awake awakening the first time. And I love the people in it, great people. I got on well with them, still friends with some of them now.
mhm,
But I just felt it was restricting me. It wasn't for me, and huge leap of faith to leave it, but I did, and I've never looked back.
mhm,
Never looked back.
mhm,
But to the people who have stayed in that religion all this time, good luck to them. It's what it's for them. It's what they want. That's fine. It's what maybe they
mhm,
need. It's up to them, isn't it?
mhm.
It's not just because I don't need it doesn't mean they don't need it. You know what I mean? It's just what we are like. But
Yeah, it's so amazing that there's something for everybody, and it's if it's not out there, you can make it yourself.
yeah, that's true. You're pretty good. Yeah. I look at some of
Mm.
the religions are quite new, aren't they? On the big picture of things, like the Mormon faith and stuff like that. That's only been around for like 200 years or something like that, isn't it? Something like that. It came 1800s, I think it came out. Something like that it was.
Which one?
The Mormon faith. I think that's only came out
Oh,
1800s, is it? Something like that. They came out.
yeah. I actually recently had a few missionaries knocking on my door, probably 2 months ago or so, and I entertained them for a little while. We sat on the porch, and they were really fascinated with the way that I saw life,
Yeah,
and um, they came back a bunch of times. They wanted me to go to church with them, and the whole time they would come, I kind of just explained to them that I find God through the rock on the ground or
yeah,
through the tree that I'm standing next to, and I really, this is where I
mm,
belong. This is God's calling me to be here in the forest with the animals and the trees, and I
yeah.
don't feel the need to go into town and go to
No,
church.
I
So,
I'm well jealous
uh,
of you being able to live like that. I'd love it.
yeah,
I
so
just can't.
the most the most amazing thing is there's this strange um so like I wouldn't want to go through life and not exercise my ability to help people.
Yeah.
So being like I don't want to be a hermit,
No,
but
no.
what's amazing is that if someone needs me and they surely can't find me because they're lost, right?
Yeah.
Someone in their life that has connection and knows where I'm at will bring them to me. Never met.
Mm, that's good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So,
And I mean, I get myself into trouble, like we were talking about earlier, is when you're gonna have this energy transfer with someone and help somebody, you're risking a lot. And they're bringing me the worst of the worst. They're
yeah.
bringing me someone that doesn't want help. Like, you know what I mean? They're
Mm,
fighting the help.
yeah.
And someone cares for them and thinks that there's something down in there that does want help, and I have to find it. And oh my gosh, sir, it's it, um, I don't mean it's so strange that I do those things without asking for money. It's just they show up, and I guess this is what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
And not that someone hasn't taken care of me for what I've done afterwards, but um, it's certainly in this different kind of um, energy exchange, and to pervert it with money or the world around us to like trade something for that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It should the job should be rewarding in and of itself,
Yeah.
working and helping somebody and figuring that problem out because they're not the only one in the world suffering. So we're all sort of hashing out these problems and bringing into consciousness a way to deal with the disease, the disharmony.
Yeah.
And yeah, being in nature, I guess, allows me to deal with harsher stuff without all the uh, crazy environment of the urban life, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think it's probably a perfect fit
Hmm.
for what, you know.
Yeah, it's a situation. It's really odd as I've gone on. My I'm from a traditional Christian background. Always believed in God in various forms, what have you. And it's really strange as I've grown and my vibrations raised. I suddenly realizing, like like you said, um, that God is in the trees, it's in the stone, it's all around us, and it's like I got sort of shown once. I don't know if I'm right, but this is just how I perceived it. It's like if you want to find God's consciousness is in nature. You just go through nature and it's there. You want to find God, it's there. That's what I got shown, and it's opened me up to nature a lot as well. But yeah, it's not from my traditional beliefs. My traditional belief is, say, Christian belief. But as I'm getting older, it's getting developing. This is what I'm being shown, and it's like, whoa. And I know when I go out, when I walk the dog and stuff, I just feel so much better. It's just I feel like it's cleansing me. I feel better in myself, and then I come back then to back to the same rigmaroles of life again. You know, and it's like, yeah. So I definitely I'm well jealous of you being able to live there like that, because I wish I could, because I can't here. You know,
Well, I
where I
mean,
live.
you said you you're starting to play your guitar again.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
and I mean, short walks. I mean, we got to do what we got to do. And you have a dog. What? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the three components of my that I'm alive. Is I have a guitar, and I sing,
Oh
and
yeah, I
I have a
sing as well.
dog, and I go outside and with my feet on the earth. If I didn't have those three things, it,
That's brilliant.
yeah.
I wanted a dog for years, and my partner. Well, funny thing was my partner, the dog chose her. Uh, she went to see a litter of the puppies. All the puppies hid away. The one I showed you earlier, my dog. No, straight out to her as if to say, "I'm here. Take me. I want you." You know, and that was it. And they so close. The pair of them together. It's like I don't exist half the time, and she's around us. I'm here as well. You know, he's all for her. You know what I mean? And yet, when she's not around, he's all over me. But he is. I'm telling you now, that dog is a healer, and he is a healer as well. He's a healer. He's One time I was trying to help my partner with something, and I was in the wrong frame of mind. I just knew that I couldn't do it, and he went into the room where she was, licked her hand, within seconds, boom, she was fine. I thought, what the hell, you know? I've said it from the start. He's a healer. I've known it from the start, but he just is. He just and he Again, this might be a bit out there. I don't know how you feel about this, but he communicates with me at times. He does communicate with me. I don't know if you'll find that the same with your dog. Like if he wants to go out, he tells me, even if he's in the other room and I can't even see him. He is telling me he wants to go out. I know he wants to go out, and I've got to take him out. I got to take him out because he won't leave me alone. He's in here. He gets to me. I don't know how he does it, but he does. And other stuff. I'm not going too much into that now, but he does communicate with me, and it's quite crazy. Actually, it's more visual. I think it's really hard to put into words, but it's quite it's quite special. You know, it's nice. It's nice. I
Yeah,
wouldn't change it for the world. Um,
yeah.
so part of my development, I've been led to research about this. You see a lot on TikTok and YouTube now about the fifth consciousness, fifth dimension. Have you any dealings with that, or do you call it a different thing, or do you know what I mean by that?
Well, let's call it a different thing. I mean, if I'm aware of what you're about to talk about, because I don't know if I'm, yeah, I guess I'm very limited with my words. I'm a pretty simple guy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, another word for it then is nature's consciousness, as I call it.
Okay.
I'll just explain how I perceive it, and then you tell me what you think of it. What I've been led down the, when I've started to research it, what I got shown is thousands of years ago, the animals are already there now. Most animals exist in the fifth dimension, which is nature's consciousness. But most humans don't because of the way we live our lives and how we lived our lives for the last 2,000 years, what have you, I don't know. I've been experiencing it since Christmas off and on. And it's like, I just all I can explain to it is like different way of thinking, much more relaxed about things most of the time. Except my boy, when he starts, makes I lose it then, and that's a bit different. But and you the things that used to like I call them traps, like emotional traps, things that would make you get cross in the past. Now they just like flow off me like they don't not even there no more. It's just definitely a higher dimension from what, as I call it, the traditional 3D dimension that we're in the world. The fourth dimension is, I think, feel where the elementals and stuff live and do their work that they've got to do. And the fifth dimension, I believe, is nature's consciousness, and I believe that there's a huge awakening coming. It's already starting, where people are going to start to find that become. And I think you're already there. I think you're already there. I didn't even have to ask. I think you're already there anyway. But so that's what I mean by the fifth dimension, is nature's consciousness. So do
Yeah,
you get what I
that's
mean?
great because we're talking about it. I've been experiencing magical things here in the
Yeah,
forest, and I've always been sort of someone that seeks out to speak with nature. I'm not really interested in listening to people when they have something to say,
yeah,
if you know what I mean. Uh,
definitely.
so I would rather go listen to nature and what she has to say, and or what it has to say, however you want to call it. Um, but interesting that we're vibrational beings,
Yeah,
right? And nature being in line with its environment, more or less, a little bit more resilient than we are, anyways. Trees, especially, and um, this is the higher vibrational state. When we go live in boxes that are designed all
yeah,
with frequency diminishing qualities,
yeah,
and it's almost uniform like across the world, so you call it a matrix.
yeah,
And if you're living in that, it's blocking you from vibrating at a higher frequency and connecting with nature.
yeah,
So it's important, and most people know it's very important to reconnect with nature. And we're all plugging away in the matrix, trying to better our technology. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with all that. It's just a lot, but certainly the foundation of where our energy comes from, is this high, like I think what you're talking about is
yeah,
this fifth dimensional state that I think we're more connected to, or should be more
yeah,
connected to. Not that one should be more than the other, but I think we're lacking
yeah.
in that
No,
connection.
you're there for sure, definitely. As soon as I said it, I realised. I thought, "Oh God, you're absolutely you're there." You know, that's what I'm going towards. Is you're already there. You know what I mean? It's you're there,
Yeah.
like for sure, definitely, and that's quite amazing. I'm well jealous, but I know that I'm heading there myself in whatever way. And funny enough, today I told you earlier about my son being off school for he's been off for like 6 weeks now, for different reasons. There was a choice. There was a chance today that he was going to go back, and it was like I was shown that if he went back today, then my vibration would be influenced by it, and I'd be dragged down to a lower vibration than where I am now today. And I thought, oh my God! But I still didn't stop. I still wanted him to go to school, but he didn't go in the end anyway. But then I thought afterwards, and then hang on a minute, how is he going to go back now without me lowering my vibration? You know what I mean? Obviously, I want him to go back, and that's my priority. That more than anything else. I don't focus on my vibration. Where my vibration is where it is. I don't focus on it. It is what it is. But I just was shown it today. It was like, you're going to go. I was shown, if you went back today, you will be talking to the same people you used to talk to, and they'll try and put you in the box that they used to find you in, and you're not that in that box anymore. You come out of that box now, and this is what I was shown, and it was like, oh, and I think, whoa, what do I just didn't know what to say or what to do when I realised that, because that's how I get visually shown stuff. Um, and that's how I got shown this today. It was like, hang on, if he goes back today, and then just got shown, you're going to be back in the box where you used to be, and you're not in that. You've gone beyond that, because it started around Christmas time. I I pulled my back. I was in a foul mood. I don't know what happened. I was walking the dog. I was in an awful mood. Pulled my back. Something happened. Suddenly I was in a different state of consciousness. I was in a higher state, and it went from there, and it's been off and on since then. It's been off and on since then. That's all I can explain it. you know, I feel, and I got told by my guides or whatever that I was a forerunner of this nature's dimension, this fifth dimension, whatever I was told back then. I got guided to make a video about it, and the video, like, virtually nobody saw it. And I thought, oh god, why did I get guided to make this video? No one saw it. But then I got shown then later on, is because your audience haven't found you yet. You make the stuff. When your audience finds you, there we are. Then the videos will you. Because what happened, I was talking to my friend Deborah, the one I said talking to you earlier, I interviewed before, um, and she's in the fifth dimension. She's really up there. She's in a group of other really high vibrational women group that meet together, sisterhood of them, and this really really high dimensional lady, and she said. We were talking about my channel because I got a big channel which is Roger's taken over for me now with about 140 odd thousand subs, which was built on horror videos, ghost videos, and stuff like that years ago. And because of my transition as a healer, I can't no longer do that no more. I just cannot do it. Can't do it no more. And anyway, I got guided to do these videos like this here and my solo podcasts and stuff like that. And I was doing them on my Wonderful Wilderness channel. And I was getting a little bit of response, but mainly it was very little response. Maybe getting a few hundred views from them, but because of the size of the channel, I should have had a lot more. And then one day I was talking to this Deborah, and I just said to her, I was getting so frustrated. I said, I don't know. I said I might just start a new channel. As I said that, got shown straight away. Start a new channel. It's gonna fly. That's what I got shown. So I made this new channel there and then that night. And to be honest, it's done quite well because it's only been going 2 months, and it's doing really well for the 2 months it's been growing. But it hasn't really flown yet, but it's going to. I know that it's going to. It's just not the right time yet. But so that's why I ended up making this new channel from that, because again I got guided, I got shown it, and that's what I did. And that's how I live my life. I try to live it by guidance. If I get guided to go here, because when I made my first channel, it was a calling. I had the idea in my head, it just wouldn't go away. So then I go to bed at night, and there was like a light bulb switched on in my head, showing me dreaming, me making videos, and went on like for over a month. And it was like, oh, I had dreams of me making videos. I thought, I don't even know how to make the bloody video. And I remember saying one night, okay, I said, fine, if I can learn how to do it, I'll make the videos, make a YouTube channel. Best 2 nights sleep I've had in years. Slept like a log the next 2 nights. Oh, brilliant. The sun comes up, and I didn't even know this. He was a YouTuber. He showed me how to make my first videos. So I held it back for 2 weeks. No, I wasn't going to do it. I'm going to do it. Again, I was having these videos. I was having these dreams in my head every night about me made my first video. It was the biggest relief in my life. It was a calling. I was meant to do it, and it's just gone from there. And it's crazy, And now I've got like about 6 channels, and I'm all over the place. But there we go, and here I am today. So, you know. But
Yeah. Yeah, how interesting. Um, the delicate dance we must do to connect with this 5D nature energy, and then dive into the depths of lower dimensions and
yeah,
diminished energies to uh, deep connection,
Yeah.
with those that are down there. They're trying to reach up,
Yeah.
and we're dropping a line in the water.
It's hard. If I try and help someone who I know is not open to me helping them, it's really, really difficult. I find it difficult myself. I have helped them, but it's difficult and it can take a lot out of me to do it. But I have done it. But uh, no, these days I'm guided to do stuff like this. Not so much healing now. Um, Life for me is a series of awakenings. My first awakening was in a church that I went to a meeting about because I was trying to tap a girl leg, go out with a girl as you do when you're young, chasing a girl, and I didn't end up going out with her, but I went to the church thing because she was there, and I thought, oh, maybe. And I something happened, and I felt this rapturous feeling inside, a joy or whatever it was, and it just opened me up, and so that was that. And then later on, it was the healing, as I said, with my dog too, and there was another sort of awakening. I had a sort of awakening back last December where I looked in the mirror and I saw I had angel wings, and it was like, what the hell? And I could feel them for days after. I could feel them. They were here. I could feel them. It was like, what the hell? And then they went. And then now I go through different stages. Now I'm experiencing stuff like electrical stuff. Is sometimes when I'm like I feel myself getting really high vibrationally when I'm talking. I'm affecting electrical stuff around me now. That's the latest thing that's happening to me. Happened to my mate's
Huh.
car the other day. I was talking about something and I could feel myself rising. And the next thing he said, "Oh my god, what's going on with my lights in my car?" And then it went fine again. And it's happened. I've lost connection when I was doing videos in the past because when it's happened, things not working in the house electrical when it's happened, and then a few minutes later they're working totally fine. Microwave stopped working last week. A few minutes later it was fine. Different stuff. That's just lately the latest thing that's going on with me. I don't know why. It's not something I particularly pleasant. I don't really like this, but it's just happening for me. I don't know why. Never happened in the past, but it's happening now. Um,
Huh.
it's like almost like I'm shown every side, every facet of spirituality to learn about them because like I learned about healing, learned about angels. Because back then, while I was going through that angel experience, I was seeing myself going around the world. I don't know what that meant, but I've seen myself going around the world, influencing people, and healing people and stuff like that. Again, I don't know what that was all about, but I'm not doing it now. It was just I go through different phases, different like aspects. Uh, it's like a, it's like what to me when you open yourself up to the spirit realm. It's like you're in an egg, and you crack open the egg, and suddenly you're getting like a connection to it. So you could stay in that egg all your life and just get that connection and live with that connection. But with me, it's just oh no, every so often break a bit more of the egg so you get a stronger connection, and it's like, and then you break a bit more of the egg, and that's just like with me. I'm getting this bloody shell that I'm in is just slowly cracking apart, and I'm getting more exposed to the spiritual realm, or have you, and I'm learning more. I'm becoming more aware, and so there we go. That's what it feels like for me.
Yeah. What
I
an interesting
yeah, it's my
analogy.
perception of it. That's all I can really.
Yeah. I feel like my egg was shattered one day. Like you asked me earlier if there was like a
Yeah,
moment or an event, and certainly there was. Um, I was like, I guess, 5 years old, and my brother was antagonizing me, and
right.
he was making me very angry, and I was crying, and probably snot bubbles coming out my nose, and I was kind of going after him, trying to. He's 10 years my elder, so he was like
Yeah,
15, and I'm swinging my arms, and he's holding my head with his hand, and he's laughing at me, and calling me names, and just messing with me. And God, I was so angry. Probably the angriest I've ever been. And he reached down. Well, he was going backwards, and he reached down and picked up a metal baseball bat and hit me in the head.
really.
And I had that was the start of my journey. had quite a long journey there on the lane in the yard, and
Oh.
um, what was kind of like as everything disappeared, I went through all these memories of my life. I was only 5, but um, just kind of everything was almost gone, and all of a sudden it was like being struck by lightning. And I remember at the last moment just feeling this immense love
Yeah.
and connection. And I've witnessed that, and I realized I was no longer angry, and this was way better. Like
Mm.
that whole self was gone, and I immediately felt this huge love. And even though my eyes were still closed, I was like my brother, and I just this huge amount of energy, and I hope I just like brought me back to life in almost an instant, like this
Oh.
lightning flash, and boom, I'm looking up at my brother, and I can almost see light coming off of me and going into his face, and he was pale white.
Yeah.
He thought I was dead,
Oh.
and he ran off. He ran off, and boy, yeah, if that doesn't echo into my life forever, I don't know what will. Yeah,
So
something else.
did you, if you don't mind me asking, did you find later on in trauma in life because of what that happening, or were you okay? Did it?
I think that that's what erased all the trauma and
Yeah.
gave me ability to
Right.
deal with trauma.
Okay.
Because I had a lot of trauma before that moment, and then all of a sudden it was
It's
gone,
gone. Oh,
and
that's
I seemed to be able to deal with things a
yeah.
little bit better. Certain things, some things I still have very sensitivity to,
Yeah.
especially like people that know that they're being shitty
Yeah.
and they do it anyways. It kind of
Sorry.
gets my
Hello.
goat. It's like things like that. Because that's where he was. He knew how crappy he was being. But I can't really judge whether he was being forced to do that, or if he
Mm.
was that was who what he was. But
Mm.
I
Right.
instantly, like I said, it was this love. I forgave everything. I didn't feel any. I felt balanced. The
Mm.
universe was balanced. It was like that healing moment. I almost had to. I would have thanked him, but he ended up running away, and he had just gotten out of juvenile hall, and he was home for like a couple of days, and so when he ran, he stole the neighbor's bike, and they called the police on him right away, and he
Oh.
ended up getting in a car with a friend that had a gun, and
Oh God.
he ended up shooting a police officer in the neck,
What?
and went to prison for years. I
Oh
think
my
like
God.
9 or 7 years or something. Yeah.
Wow.
And so, interestingly, because he ran away, I never told anybody. Like, I got up, there was definitely effect. Like, I didn't, my head was a little swollen, and I didn't really talk. I was a high talker before that, and then I didn't talk for a while. And
Yeah.
everyone thought that was a little strange, but they never really
Mm.
investigated. I was such the black sheep of the family, nobody ever knew.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Huh. That's a hell of a story, that, isn't it? Fiddles. Wow. Um.
Uh,
I say it started for me with a religious group, but one of the biggest things to get a trauma I had was my mother passed away in front of me when I was 17, and obviously it was obviously very traumatic because I was very close to her. And one day I was in my kitchen and I saw something on Facebook about people saying, "Oh, ask for a sign, ask for a sign." So I just had it in my head for her to give me. I said, I asked for a sign. I said, and I had a mental image in my head of her hugging me. Next thing, I felt someone hugging me. I thought, "Oh my God!" And I realized she was hugging me. I couldn't see her, but I could feel her, and it was like, what the hell? I was emotionally a bit in turmoil for about 3 days, but my grief, I probably lost about 60-70% of my grief towards her. It was gone, and then 3 days was gone because I realized suddenly she's still here. And fast forwarding, showed me a few different things. This happened earlier on this year. I just closed my eyes. I wasn't even asleep. And suddenly, I was right back at that moment when she passed away. You think, well, it's not a very nice place to go back to, but I was there. And um, I was like reliving the moment. But then I went. But then after I was like I sort of relived the moment, sort of came off it, and then I went back to it, and I realised my mother's soul, spirit, was standing there. She was with me, even though she passed away. She was like on the bed. She passed away. Her soul was with me because when she passed away, I felt she was close to me. I think it was about 8 or 9 years after. I could felt really close that she was around me the whole time. But I couldn't see her, but I could just sense that she was around me. I could feel her presence all the time. And this image showed she was actually there in the room when it happened, and I was like, wow. I was just like, oh my god. And that happened like about 2 months ago. It was like, and I just thought, oh my god. So it basically, when things like this happen to me, it sort of like gets rid of the grief more again, because it's just like, well, why have I got to grieve when I'm just being shown she's still around, she's still here, she's still, and so yeah, crazy stuff. But there we go, it's some stuff you can't really talk about with people, How can you go someone on the street and tell them that? How can you tell them that? Like, it's
Yeah.
but still. So I don't know what to say now. That was pretty out there what you said about your brother. I can't believe, because he ran away, what led to as well with the police officer and
Yeah.
everything. It was just like crazy, wasn't it? If he'd have just like not run away, he would have missed all that. It just makes you think what a decision can make you do. You know what I mean? What one decision can, if you go this way, you go that way, how it can affect your life, isn't it? Like a crossroads, so
Yeah.
to speak. If he'd have run the
Yeah.
other way, he might not have met his friend, and if he'd have gone, you know what I mean? It just makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How the decisions you make affect you,
Yeah.
So
Well, I often imagine what would have happened, like which road was better for him, right? Because what if he didn't run away and then everybody found out that he hit me with a metal baseball bat? My dad probably would have killed him.
yeah,
It could have worked
maybe,
out different, you
yeah.
know. Uh, but so it is what it is. It's so yeah, the whole parallel universe, the
Mm.
idea that a lot of people have is like all the different things happened,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I guess I could wrap my head around that, considering in that moment when I laid there in the grass, I was in this three-dimensional Mandelbrot of infinite possibilities, and even though I was still standing aware of my life and my memories as they
Mm.
disappeared, um, I was surrounded by this infinite in all directions.
Mm. That's amazing.
So yeah, super amazing. Um, but
It's
yeah, yeah,
go on.
that's really cool about your mom. I I thought, I don't know, maybe I thought that sort of sometimes about my grandma. So
Yeah,
that's really cool.
yeah. It is cool. Yeah. Obviously, I wish she hadn't passed away, but it might seem harsh, but I wouldn't be the person I am today if she hadn't have passed away. I might sound really nasty. I don't mean that way. I would love to have her here now. I wish I was sitting next to her. I would now. But just what I mean is she was ill and I was looking after her. So if I'd have been a carer for her throughout my adult life, I wouldn't have maybe made the choices I made to be in this situation, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? I just
Mm.
wish, obviously things could have been done differently and she'd still be here, what have you, but you sort of understand there's a big picture to everything, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to see the big picture. But there we go. All right, we've been talking for an hour now. I really think we've only scratched the surface. Um, I really think we could talk about a lot more, but I think we best leave it here. But would you be interested in having another chat in the future? If I get some ideas,
Certainly.
because I think we're starting to warm up now. You know what I mean? And now it's
Yeah.
coming to an hour now. You think, well, we're to stop now. Because my partner might ring me any time now, so I better hard stop because I don't want to be in the middle of talking to you when she rings me as well. So I better not do that. But
Okay.
I have genuinely I love talking to you, and really have I understand you better, I think, from meeting you today than I did before, because I didn't really like only like heard some of what you what it was about, but I didn't like know you in a sense. But now I've spoke to you today and seen you today, I know what you're about more now. Definitely for sure. That's pretty special what you got there. Really, really is pretty special. Very special. Really
Thank
is.
you.
So,
Yeah,
right.
let's do this again sometime.
Yeah,
And
definitely. Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Are you on Discord, or don't you use Discord or anything like that?
Um, I don't know if I have the app on my phone anymore. I have the Telegram. Um,
Uh,
and then of course I have the Minds chat.
yeah. I'm on Minds, but I don't really use it much now, to be honest. I use Discord and this Facebook, of course. Um, I got a page on there, same as my YouTube channel. I sent you a request about it, I think, as well, about the other day. Don't know if you've seen it. Because I post
Yeah, I
like an.
probably I forgot to follow. I was
Uh,
probably
it's a,
reading the memes,
I
laughing.
post a lot of like enlightened posts and stuff on there, and try to sort of like help people, lift people from my post. I try to. I don't always do it, but I try to. It does help some
Yeah.
people, so I try to do
Yeah.
that. Um, there we are. I'll wrap this up then. So definitely will be a part two at some point or the other. What I'll probably
Cool.
do is when I get some ideas about things we could talk about, I'll email you, and then we'll just bounce back and forth and see what you think, and maybe something in the future. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So I just want to ask you one more thing before I wrap this up. Do
Yeah.
you what's your view on elementals, or do you think they'll be take too long for you to tell me?
Did I watch them?
No, what's your view on elementals, like things like fairies, like the goblins, stuff like that? What is your view on them sort of things? Do you believe in them? Do you believe they exist?
Um, well, I mean, I guess I wouldn't deny them.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I may very well be a goblin or something. I don't know.
Uh,
I didn't know that that's what that was. Elementals are like entities.
yeah. It's a vast scope of it. They're just like some. The elementals can be like could be like fire creatures. They can be water. They can be. It's a massive thing. I was just asking if you. But anyway, I think we'll leave that to another time, is it? Because I think that could be a big subject to cover. And
All
maybe
right,
maybe
cool.
part two we'll cover that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I can tell you my
I was
experiences about them as well.
I was laughing because there's these oak trees out here, and they have little doorways
Yeah,
on the bottom. It looks like.
yeah.
And so yeah, that's what I thought of.
Because I got
Cool.
to
Well,
go
what
on.
what's that?
I just say I posted about elementals on a podcast, and I was told there were in Ireland they believe in fairies really strongly, and they were going
Hmm.
to. I was told that there was a road they wanted to build, but it went through where they believed Fairy Village lived, and they rerouted it. But a person replied to me, said no, they did build it there. Against everyone's didn't want them to build it, but they did, and they've had nothing but bad luck, road accidents, constant bad luck in that stretch of road where they built it. So I thought, oh, here we go then, you know. But anyway, I won't say no more about that. We'll leave that for another time. But
All right, cool.
because there's loads of stuff we could talk about, and but I'll get some questions together. I'll be more organised next time than I am today, because today I've had nothing ready. I've just sort of winged it, so to speak, you know. But anyway, uh, I'll end this now, and thanks to Rush for speaking to us today. And I say I found you really, really cool. Really, I don't know, I can't put into words, but you've really got a special ability. You know, I'm really well jealous of you. You're really aiming. You're really where I want to go, want to be in a sense. It's really hard to put into words, but it is. But I didn't know that till I spoke to you today. You know what I mean? It's really odd, but it is. So anyway, I'm going to end it here. Thanks for for watching, guys. If you stayed this long, so until next time, guys. Bid you all bye for now. Stay safe. Cheers, buddy.
Thanks,
Thank you.
man.